All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and I hope everybody had a beautiful, proper mega Christmas. I know I did. I know Yardy, right? He did too as well, and all
Oh,
my friends. But
absolutely.
yeah, man, it's good to be back, bro. It absolutely is. I only got one more podcast for the end of the year, which is hard to imagine. I can't even believe I'm saying that. 2025 is almost over, but here we are, right? But yeah, Yardy, man, listen, absolute honor to have you on, bro. I know me and you had talked several times, did some video chats, and the day is here. So let's get into it, my
Finally,
friend, man.
finally.
Finally, let's go. I'm pumping. Nice shirt, by the way, man.
Oh, thank you. Not so bad yourself over there.
Yeah,
I was
man,
about
let's
to put the
go,
gas and
right?
everything
Yeah,
on it.
absolutely. So before we get started, man, I just want to give a big shout out to my man K Dub at Hyper Naked. Dude, proper mega collab on these shirts. I still have some available, so if anybody's interested, please hit me up. I know I done sold a buttload of them, but I do have some left, and I'm pretty sure he does too on the website. But yeah, so listen, Yardy, dude, tell us your journey, bro. Where did it all start on two wheels for you?
Oh, it is crazy looking back and thinking how far we've come. But I mean, it really started what was it, last year of college. It was COVID, and my brother was living with me at the time, and we just about done everything. Like we were just playing video games, cooped up in the house, trying to figure out what to do with all the spare time we were having, and I got this crazy idea. I was like, ah, screw it, let's go take the MSF course. Just just fuck around, see if that's something we'd be interested in. And we got a group of friends to go. I think it was, man, there was like 7 of us that went and took the MSF course together, and we were on the shittiest little Honda Shadows and Nighthawks ever created. Like there was no clutch feel. It decided when it was going to engage. The throttle was like, when you have like sand in the threads of a bolt. That's what it's felt like. Horrible bikes, but phenomenal experience. And a week later, my brother bought his first bike, which, looking back at it, like crazy decision. He bought a F700 GS BMW adventure bike, and I was still looking for my bike. I wanted a sport bike. At one point, I wanted an ancient like 1970 CB 750 or some jalopy like that. But I rode his bike around a little bit, and then I bought the same thing. So we were we were on the same bikes for a while, and we rode around for, oh man, must have been a year and a half. Figured everything out, just learning together, riding around, ripping around Daytona, and we did some off-road stuff. We did single track on bikes that should never be taken down a single track, which that was an experience. But it kind of taught us, how like low effort it could be to ride a bike, because when you're tired, you've been pulling a 750-pound bike through the mud for the last 3 hours. The ride home, you're like, oh wow, I don't have the energy to do this. Oh, it's kind of easy to ride. But yeah, so we started on these bikes. We did a lot of dumb shit, but um, that kind of started it. I sold my car to buy the bike, and I was without a car for 2 years, 2.5 years. And I have a picture. I'll have to find it somewhere. There's a picture of me. Somebody said, "There's no way you can get groceries on that thing." I have a 50-pound bag of dog food on the top case, and then both side cases and everything are just filled with groceries. And I was like, you can do a lot with these things. They're a lot more versatile than most people give them credit to. But yeah, that's kind of how we started on bikes, and much to the, I think, disappointment of my parents at the beginning of it, because they weren't very supportive of the whole motorcycle idea. But I think I remember telling my mom, like, "Don't worry, we got dirt bikes. Like,
Yeah,
it's
mom,
okay."
so it's okay. Yeah, my
No.
mom wasn't. Yeah, my mom wasn't very supportive neither. You know, there's that cliche that they're dangerous, right? Let's just be honest. And
Yeah, no,
be
absolutely.
being a parent, man, now that I have, Rossi, I get what my mom was saying and the feeling she just wants me to be safe, right? That's all that
Right,
matters. So I get
right.
it, but at the same time, motorcycles are the best thing ever. What are you talking about, right? Like,
Dude, yeah, right, no, like,
bro.
Man,
And that experience with you and K Dub, you know, getting the same bikes, riding around, learning the you know, just riding and having fun, man. What a journey, right? That's a bond and something very special and unique in its own way that you'll never forget.
absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. I mean, one thing I'll never forget is I was like, "Hey, I think I figured this clutch thing out." And we're at a red light, and then light turns green, and I stall the bike, and my brother just I can hear him in the car though, laughing his ass off as he keeps going. I'm like, "Oh, that just fucking happened." Shit like that. Like, just yeah, lots of experiences. It was a phenomenal time, and that kind of you know, a lot of people say, "Oh, motorcycles are cool and whatever," and I'm like, that started like setting me down a path that completely changed my life in a big way. Like I said, I was on a bike for 2 years and that was it. So I was a cashier at the time at Publix, and a motorcycle shop that I frequented, and that was like one of the sponsors for the Embry Riddle riding club or the motorcycle club, uh, like casually mentioned like the second or third time I was there that he was looking for somebody to run the front desk, and I was like, oh hey, I'm somebody. So I then started working with him. I worked with him for what was it? Should introduce it. It's Eric Komrowski over at Monkey Work Cycle in Daytona Beach. um, yeah, he offered me a job, and I worked with him for a year and a half. And my knowledge and love for motorcycles in that year and a half, like, dude, it just took off. Like, it is insane. I saw so many motorcycles, met so many people from that, and yeah, no, it just my took an entirely wild turn that I never thought it would take. Shit, I even met my girlfriend at the shop. She crashed her bike, and we were fixing it, and then she was like, "Hey, I would really like to go for a ride." And I was like, "Well, your bike's broken in the back." Oh, you want a backpack? And
Uh,
yeah, no. So a whole bunch of crazy shit. I actually ended up working as pit crew for a Daytona 200 competitor as well, which would never have imagined being on a professional grid. Like, just man, I was just a tire monkey. Like, nothing incredibly special, but that's when I started to realize how like special Moto A is and how special motorcycle racing is. And before that, I had done a track day, and my first track day is something I'll get back to. But that's when the the switch kind of flipped, and I was just like, "Yo, this is something I'm going to be doing for until the end of times, right?" Um, there's no way that you can pull me away from this, because like the energy at Daytona at like 1 a.m. when you just rebuilt the bike for like the third time, it is infectious, and it cannot be explained. It is just awesome. So if anybody ever has the opportunity to be in the pits in the middle of the night at Daytona, like during the races, oh my god, it is insane. But yeah,
it
but yeah,
is. Yeah, I was just gonna say real quick, man, it is, you know, and taking it back, when we get involved in motorcycles, we don't realize at the time how much it's gonna change our lives and what path it's gonna take us down. The beautiful people we're gonna meet, and the friends and the
right.
family and the girlfriends that come out of nowhere, right? It's
Yeah, apparently.
yeah, apparently it's man, you know, it's such a beautiful thing, man. And you're right about
Yes, no.
Daytona, man. Daytona is one of those. I mean, it's the most mega track we have in America, right? Everybody internationally, they want to
Yes.
come to Daytona. They don't want to go to VIR or Laguna. They want to go to Daytona, right? And you're right. That's
Yes.
something special, especially when you go through that tunnel and you come up the hill, and it's just like, what is this place? It's so huge. You feel the energy, you feel the history there too, as well.
No,
And there's a lot of
absolutely.
stuff that happens at night that we cannot talk about on the podcast. But yes, you are right. You are absolutely right. It's
it
definitely different at night.
it's special. If you get the chance, go ahead.
Facts,
But yeah.
110%.
So I I've I've made the decision to no longer ride on the street. So I mean, I'll put her down to like the gas station or something just to put gas in the track bike or something. But for the most part, I've given up street riding because I started track riding in that same year. I started working at Monkey Works, and oh my gosh, I tell everybody, like, if I meet somebody on the street and they haven't done a track day, I was like, just bro, like, the only thing I'm gonna say is you haven't ridden a motorcycle until you ride one on track. I don't care how fast you think you are or how long you've been riding. If you haven't been on the track, you man, you just don't get it. You don't
You
get
don't.
it.
You don't. You really don't, man. And you know, along with saying that, it's like the first time you get your motorcycle, you throw your leg on it, and it's the first time you're going out in public on streets, the
Right,
first time, right? You'll never
right.
forget that. It's like the first time you show up to your first track day, your first leather suit, the first time you drag your knee. You know, there's a lot of those first that come along with it that always will be right here that you'll never forget because they're
Absolutely.
so special. You know, it's like it's a feeling that you can't really explain to somebody if they
No,
haven't
no, and
experienced it.
yeah, you just have to go do it. I mean, even if I've told people, even if you go to the track just once, like, you're gonna learn more about riding in that, like, 1 or 2 days than you ever will. Like, I'd ridden on the street for, like, 2 years, and, I mean, I'm I thought I was a pretty good rider, like, I thought I knew how to control the bike, I'd gone off-road, I'd done a whole bunch of stuff. I used to try and catch sport bikes on an adventure bike, like, I thought I was a pretty good rider, and then I got to the track, and they do, like, a lead follow for the first couple laps in novice, and I'm like, "Guys, slow down. You guys are going way too fast, like, we can't do that, like, I'm still learning, like, slow the fuck down, come on." Which hilarious, especially looking back at it now, I'm like, "Man, novice is really slow." But I remember I was shitting myself the first lap around the track. It didn't help that I was on a RC51 for my first track day, which awesome bike, horrible bike to learn on. You like, I'd stand the bike up and I crack the throttle and it just take off and I'm like, "Oh, fuck, I'm gonna die." And then there's a turn coming up and I learned how to ride in Florida. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Well, turns? What the hell is a turn?
Yeah,
I turn
yeah, what
right
do you
or
mean I
left to
got
the gas station. That's it.
right, right, exactly, like, what do you mean I gotta hold on to the brake while tipping over? That's stupid.
What are you talking about? I don't want to crash.
Right, exactly. It's like, man, these people don't know what they're talking about. No, but
Uh,
yeah, I learned so much in my first track day, and man, it is the most expensive track day I've ever done because since then, oh, I don't even want to think about how many track days I've done or how much money I've spent going to the track, but it is worth every cent, and I would not give it up for the world because man, it's it's like we've spoken about in the past. You know, you flip your visor down as you head out to pit road, and like everything just becomes bliss. Everything is silent, and you're just there in the moment. And you know what's about to happen is going to be super fun. But there's that mix of like anxiety, nervousness, and like, hell yeah, let's fucking go, let's fucking go. And yeah, I 100% live for that. That is the best feeling in the world, and that's
dude,
why I keep going.
100%. Yeah, dude, 100%. You know, and it was saying that too. You know, I've been to many track days, and one thing that I see is it's a must for everybody that shows up is leave your ego outside. You know, people show up, think they're Ricky Road Racer. I'm fast. I'm this. I'm on the mountain. You get out there on the track, you think you got it figured out. You really don't. There's
No,
so much to it. You know, it's you know, I've had friends, never, you know, fast as shit on the street. We go do a track day. I've done, you know, obviously a shit ton, but it was the first one. And dude, he wouldn't leave his ego. He's like, "Oh, I know this, and I ain't got to listen to that." I'm like, bro, like you're totally missing the point, right? You're not
right.
learning anything, and you don't know anything. And he goes out there and he gets his butt waxed by a 14-year-old. He comes back, he's like, "Oh man, I ain't having fun." Blah blah blah. I was like, dude, I told you that ego, you need to leave it outside, right? And yeah, open yourself up to not to criticism, but people just giving you recommendation and trying to help you succeed, right?
Yeah, and that's something, especially, and I'm probably going to shout out Precision Track Days like 100 times
Go
because
ahead.
by far the best organization I've ridden with, and I've ridden with most of the big ones other than Evolve GT and Sport Bike Track Time. That's it. Every other organization I've been with, precision is just awesome. And if you start talking to some of the coaches, well, really any coach, and you're like, man, the more I spend time on the track, the less I realize I know. Like I'm like fast intermediate, but I fucking suck at trail braking or like getting on the gas out of a corner. Like, man, I suck. Whereas me a year ago, I was like, man, I'm king of intermediate. Come on, you can't tell me shit. And now I'm actually starting to get a little bit quicker, and I'm like, man, it's just kind of difficult.
That's that ego, right? That's
Exactly,
exactly that ego I'm talking about. Yeah.
exactly,
You show up,
exactly.
you show a little progression, you think you got it all figured out, and they bump you up to the next class and you're dead last again. You're like, wait, what?
Yep,
You know,
yep.
I don't know shit, like nothing at all. And you're
So
right
the
about
thing,
precision track days.
yeah,
Absolutely
no,
amazing
they're
people.
awesome. Fahad runs an amazing show. Kevin is awesome. Like, I don't think I've met anybody in either like the coaching group or the admin group at Precision that hasn't made my experience there better. Like every single coach I've talked to, every single time I chat with Fahad or Kevin, it's awesome. Like I'm just excited to go back again. Yeah, no, Precision will be seeing a lot of me next year, much to their dismay. But
I hope you're ready, guys.
right, right. I'm gonna bug the crap out of all of you. No,
That's
but
hilarious.
yeah, and it is that ego thing. And the thing that really made it click for me is I went to a private day at Jennings GP, which is my home track. Awesome track to learn at. Like it's made every other track a little bit easier, I think, except the big tracks where you get into like fourth or fifth gear on a leader bike. Jennings doesn't really help with that, but anyway. I was at Jennings. I was at a private day. At this point, I was like mid to front pack intermediate, so I thought I kind of knew my stuff. There was a Daytona 200 racer there. It was his first time ever in the States, ever on a Gixxer 750 that wasn't running right. Shit wouldn't idle. You had to keep it like cracked open a little bit just for the bike to run, which whatever. Bike was just not set up like anywhere near what it should have been, and it was his first time ever. So I'm like, oh great, I'm gonna be able to dust this professional racer because I've been coming to this track for like 2 years. Like I know what I'm doing. I was running like 32s, 33s, nothing fast. Homeboy, like I heard him come up behind me, and I was like, what's happening? And he passes me through turn 13, 14 like I'm a rolling chicane, a slow rolling chicane. And he first hot lap ever at the track, he runs like a 17 on a bike that won't idle. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? Like, I'm on a CBR 1000. Like, my, my bike's better, but he's just. And that's when it dawned on me, like, man, we all suck. Like
Yeah.
there's so much to learn, and even the like, no, I don't want to say pro riders, but even like the incredibly accomplished riders, you'll talk to them about some stuff, and like they'll be like, "Yeah, I still suck at rear brake application," or I'm still struggling with this, and it's just the basics. Once you master the basics, there we go. You're 95% of the way there, and ego just gets in the way of that because once you start thinking like, "Oh, I've got tip in figured out," or "My throttle roll on is perfect," ooh, there's so much news for you, buddy. Like
And
you
then
you
Josh Hayes come around the outside. You're like, yeah, okay, I don't know nothing.
right,
Nothing.
exactly. Man, and it keeps happening, and like this is an experience I will never forget, and I will continue to bring it up. But I was riding with Nate Kern, and he's like, "Come on, let's go, let's go. We're gonna do a couple laps," and we do a couple laps, and come into the pits, and he's like, "Dude, you're all over the place. Like, here's a couple things you could fix. Like, just don't do that with the body positioning. Like, you're doing too much. You're doing too this." Hell yeah, exactly, yeah.
My
And
dude.
he's man, he is such an awesome human being and a phenomenal rider. That guy's amazing. But yeah, he gave me all these tips, and he's like, just do it. Don't get in your head. Don't think about it too much. and we go around for a couple laps, and it finally starts clicking, and I get into a groove, and then again coming out of turn 14 at Jennings, he passes me on the inside, one wheel in the air, looking back, giving me a thumbs up, and just disappears. And I'm over here like, oh, I thought it was going fast.
In reality, I'm not. I'm just crawling.
No, and yeah, he took off and he decided to have fun. I think by the time I got to like start finish line, which is like not even halfway down the front straight, he was already in turn 2. He was gone. And but the just a couple things that he helped me with, like I improved vastly in the 3 laps. And that's why, like, especially if you can get with a coach, they don't even have to be a Moto A rider. As long as they are proficient with the basics, 3 laps with a coach makes such a huge difference. Like, I've heard it a lot in the paddocks, like, oh, 1-to-1's pointless, there's so much I can work on, or I'm too good to need a coach or anything like that. No, that I promise you, any coach is going to be able to see, oh, well, you kind of suck at this, let's work on that. Or, if you're fortunate enough to have somebody like Nate Kern, he needs 2 turns and he's going to know, like, all right, well, here's a list of shit you can work on. Let's pick 2 and figure it out, right? Because, man, even A group, precision, I think, is a little bit better, but there's still people like the spread of like expert racer to I just got bumped into A group. The amount of skill differential between the two is mind-boggling, and that's in one group, let alone novice, intermediate. Like precision divides it up into novice and intermediate. It's a B and C group. The amount, like the difference between like the faster B group riders, which I'm like mid-pack B group now, the faster B group riders and like the slowest C group riders, it's so different. It is insane. And then you get to A group and there's still that widespread. It's just, man, there's so much to learn, and I don't think we're ever going to stop learning, because I'll talk to like professional riders and they're like, oh yeah, I'm struggling with this, or yeah, I'm still working on that, or yeah, I could do that better. And I'm like, but you ride for a living. Like, what do you mean?
I mean,
motorcycles are, yeah, the skill cap is huge. It's difficult.
It just goes to show, that nobody ever learns everything, right? Everybody's always improving.
Yes,
There's always improvements to be made. Even if you're Josh Hayes or Valentino Rossi, they're always
absolutely.
improving. Mark Marquez, right? It's nobody's got it all down 110%, right? Everybody's
100%.
better at certain aspects than other. I talked to some of my friends, are like, rear brake, I don't even use the rear brake. I'm like, dude, I love the rear
Right,
brake. Like I'm a heavy
right,
rear brake user, right? To me, it's if I get in a corner and I start running a little bit wide, I just dragged a little bit of rear brake and it just kind of tightens up the corner a little bit. Or if I'm mock bejesus down a straightaway, instead of getting on the anchors real hard and the rear come up, I just tap on the rear brake to lower the bike and then get on the front
right.
hard to try to keep it as settled as I can to approach the corner. But getting, you're right, coaching is, and I say it all the time, man, the best investment you're ever going to do. Don't buy the $3,000 suspension or the $6,000 exhaust. Spend that shit in coaching, straight up, dude. It'll change your life.
100%.
it
Yeah,
uh,
and not to like say what Skills Moto does. Like Dan F, he's awesome. He's out there on it's a beat to shit. It is a beat to shit FZ07. Like, I helped him try and pass DB limit at Jennings because his exhaust is just, there's not much there.
Look at my dude. What is up, K-Dub? Look,
What's this? What's it? You want to say hi?
What's up, Chris?
what's happening,
up,
my man?
I love you, bro.
I love you, dude. Looking good. Would you get you a Christmas present?
I guess so. Is this a Christmas gift?
Open it.
Open it.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I need to open it right now.
Yeah. Let's
We'll
go.
get back to the
Yeah, but while you're doing that experience you had with Nate Kern was just proper mega. I mean, it's something, again, you'll never forget, and the friendship you develop
No.
with Nate. When you see him again, it's like, yeah, absolutely.
insane.
Would
insane. Oh my god,
would you get, man?
I have no idea. I swear, if this is me, open it under the desk just in case they're weird like that.
Pull out a mean double fister.
We'll see what we got here. We'll see
Love
what
it.
we got here. Oh my god, why did they wrap it so good? Oh, perfect. All right, we'll close out the.
Boom, there it is.
Okay.
Let's go.
Oh shit!
Dragon's
All right.
milk. I love it. There you go. Stout, dude. I'm a huge stout guy too. I had a Guinness last night.
Oh man, it's delicious.
Good,
Anyway,
delicious.
we'll keep that to moisten the whistle here.
I
But
love it.
yeah, no. So Dan F is on this FCO7, which I'm still surprised it passed tech, but the bike is beat to shit. If there's a tab on that bike, it's been bent. I think I'm not convinced the frame's straight or the swing arm, but he's passing basically everybody on it and proving that if you spend, and I'm guilty of this, if you spend 4 grand on suspension, but you don't have the basics down, what are you doing? 4 grand in coaching would have taken you way further than that. Like the quick shifter is not holding you back. Your $1,000 master cylinder, or if you've spent $3,000 on brakes, which is easy to do, and you can't use it, dude, come on. Like, take all that money, go buy a fucking Ninja 400 and just learn how to ride, because that's gonna pay dividends. Whereas fancy suspension on a bike and you don't know how to use it, it's gonna stunt your growth because you're not gonna know how suspension reacts when you don't have any, right? If you're on something that's undersprung, you finally learn, oh, there is weight transfer. Oh, so that's what they're talking about loading the front tire. Whereas if you go buy a brand new ZX6, for example, and you throw Olin's in there and it's set to your weight or whatnot, you're going to get on it and you're going to have to brake so hard for the suspension to start reacting or accelerate so hard that you're not going to learn the finesse of, oh, okay, so this is how I compress the front and this is how I load the rear and here's what's going on. Whereas coaching is going to help you a lot more than any shiny bits. And like I said, I've spent a lot of money on my bike and it has not made me any faster than I am. Riding a couple laps with Nate or any of the precision coaches, that has done more for my riding than any shiny bits and bobs you can bolt onto a bike, because bikes are fast, people are slow. There's somebody out there that'll hop on a 20-year-old piece of shit that all the fork oil is leaked out. The shock is, there's nothing but mud in the rear shock. There's no oil or anything left in there. And they'll make you look like you're standing still. They'll go so deep on the brakes into a turn that you think they're gonna just tuck the front and eat shit, and then before you know it, they're like at the next turn, and you're still struggling with, wait, where was I supposed to brake? Like, ooh, what am I doing here? It is insane. Which is that's something I've told everybody is like, I took a leader bike to the track as my first track bike. Biggest mistake I've made. I should have gone on like a Ninja 400, Ninja 300, or if I'm really feeling myself, maybe like a SV 650 or something. But dude, if you want to learn and you want to have a shit ton of fun, take a 300 or 400 and just spend money on seat time. That is the only thing that matters. And I think the 300 has taught me more about riding than my CBR 1000, because it punishes you for being slow.
Big time,
If
right?
you
And with you saying all that, man, I'm a big fan of SFL Mini GP, which is in Florida where you are, right? Have
Yep.
you rode with them yet or trained
I
or
haven't yet, but that is on the
oh,
list for next year, because I've had way too many people tell me like, "Man, you are wasting time by not taking advantage of that." And shout out to them. I haven't even been with them, but I know the drill. Pay the fees, show up. They got
that's
everything
it.
else.
That's it.
Just
Dude,
just Go learn how to ride because that's
Listen,
what it is.
it is, and to me, it's the best program we have here in America. I mean, look where all the future legends of the sport's coming out of. AV,
Yes.
Ella, dude, Demario, Posh. I mean, rodeo. It's whether you're in Jersey or Florida. I mean, it's small
Yep.
bikes, and Sergio said it, man. He said, "Or go race minis and get good quicker." I mean, that's small bikes teach
Yes.
you so much.
100%.
The old saying is,
100%.
"You learn a lot more riding a slow bike fast than a fast bike slow," and that is a fact. Facts,
Yes,
and
and a hard pill to swallow for anybody in intermediate or lower is, your 600 is faster than you will ever be. Like,
facts.
you think you're riding it fast. No, you are riding a fast bike slow. Like, you need to go to the other side of the spectrum and figure out what you're doing. Because if, it's like Avery, I know he's done low 20s on a Ninja 400. Like, there is plenty of room to grow for most of us track day goers. Like,
Bro,
it
bro,
is insane.
it really is, and it's speaking on that point, good buddy of mine, Jason Bartlett, big shout out to Jason and Owen. He said Owen's single largest spent in 26 race budget is coaching, and it was in 2025 too. It's
Absolutely the best way to spend money.
100%.
100%.
I preach it all the time, and again, people want that shiny bits and the noise makers is what I call them with the exhaust. It's like you just wasted a shit ton of money,
I
you
think
know.
I had this conversation with Khalil. We were talking about stuff, and I was like, "Man, do you think that your average A group rider can ride a RC30 at its limits? Probably not." And that shit was made in the 90s. Like,
I mean,
it's not the
that also
hardware.
it's not, but that also comes down. You're right. It's the basic fundamentals of riding, right? You got
Yeah.
body position, proper brakes, on and off throttle. I mean, there's so much that goes into the basics of riding anyway.
Yep.
And normally what I do when I show up is I just practice like on one or two things every session. Okay, I'm gonna go out and
Yeah.
practice on braking or body position or roll speed or entering the corner or exit the corner or just putting smiles on my face, right?
Right.
But
Right.
every time you go out there, just learn something and focus and,
Absolutely.
and, and practice on one thing, and you said it, dude. Like you don't need the big bikes, people. You don't need the R6 and the ZX6Rs and the R1s. Dude, get you a 300. Yes, I know I say it, the 300. You think, oh, I'm 280 pounds. I'm going to be slow on a 300. Bro, you're going to learn so much on that 300. It's ridiculous. And that's where the ego comes in, right? We're going to go back to that ego thing. So, again, that's ego. I'm bigger than that. I'm faster than that. I'll outride that
Right.
300 in 6
No.
months. I'm like, nah, bro,
No.
absolutely not.
No, it's like I'm 260 pounds with gear on, and I'm riding a clapped 300 around Jennings, and I'm doing like a minute 30, which is that's tickling advanced times, and I know that that bike probably has another 5 seconds in it, but I can't do that. I'm not there yet.
You
Is
will
the
be.
bike underpowered for my weight? Absolutely. Is it undersprung? For sure, but it doesn't matter because I suck.
Yeah, but riding a bike like that, it's teaching you so much.
Yes. Yes.
Being not properly set up for you, the way you enter the corners, the way it's feeling, you learn to adapt and get faster on a bike that's not set up properly for you. And then when you do make that transition and you finally spend the $3,500 on K-Tech suspension, like let's just
Right.
go on, be honest,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, it's um, as you go faster, your bike's gonna get stiffer.
Right.
Right, and you're right, going out buying a, K-Tech suspension, you're not there yet. You're not fast
No,
enough yet, right? You need to
no. No,
to
that
to
that money is better spent on coaching and track time. Like,
110%.
just straight up. Like, yeah, coming out of turn 14, the rear end of the bike is like just pumping because the shock's overheated, but okay, figure it out. Ride around it. Okay, the bike doesn't want to slow down because the brakes were designed to, slow down a 150-pound rider. I guess you're going into the turn way faster than you thought. Figure it out. Oh, it won't accelerate. You gave up too much speed. Figure it out. That
Figure
that
it
is
out.
why small bikes are awesome because it's not, oh man, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm not improving. Y- You'll know what you're doing wrong. you rolled off for turn one. That don't do that. You
Stay
got
in
on
it.
the brakes. Why would you do that? Like you just lost 2 seconds because you brushed the brakes going into turn one. What? Why? Just send it. Just go.
Full send, baby. Full send. I want to get to a couple of these comments. We got some rolling in. First one up is K Dub, bro. He says, "Nice shirt, fellas. I appreciate it, man." And then he says, "Hey, I know those guys. Yes, yes, you
I
do,
would
my
hope
friend.
so.
Me too, right?" And then we got to Baden. I have no idea what.
So he said, "Ach, siehst doch, man." It's in Afrikaans. It means, "Ach, sorry, man." I don't know what that was in relation to, but it was maybe me saying my parents weren't very supportive, which now they've come around. Like I took them to a track day and they were like, this is the shit. Like screw all that street riding bullshit. Like go to the track. Like everybody has to do this. So they came around pretty hard,
Good.
and they know that for both me and my brother, like motorcycling has really changed our lives for the better and has, oh my god, like I can't even begin to try and explain what a positive outcome it has had on both of our lives. But hey, for better or for worse, we're part of the motorcycle community, and we're not going anywhere. We're gonna be here for a long ass time.
That means we got to get Dad out on track. Dad, if you're listening, you got to get out
Yes,
there. 100%.
yes, 100%. Maybe the SFL mini moto is the way to go there. We
100%.
get him on a mini bike
Yep.
and learn the basics. No, it's man, no, it's too much fun. It's way
It
too much
is.
fun.
It is. Let's see. K Dub says he's still running 32s and 33s.
Yeah, at Jennings on the small bike, which I think the big number to get to is like a minute 35, and then you're like solidly intermediate. Um, I've passed R1s on the Ninja 300 in intermediate in turn one, um, which I mean they passed me down the back straight, and then I passed them again in turn three, and then they get me between 6 and 7, and then 8 I got them again. But anyway, it's
It
proof
feels
that
good.
big
Yeah,
bikes.
dude. It feels good to
Yeah.
pass a big bike on a small bike too, especially around the outside. You outbrake them. You're like, yeah, see, you don't need that
Yes.
big bike. And to be honest with you, man, I think you kind of hit on it a little bit earlier. Is man, bikes are so fast stock right now. It's like they're intimidating. And when you're intimidated by the force speed and acceleration, when you're intimidated, you're not going to go fast because you're nervous and all this goes along
Right.
with it. Versus you're on a small bike, you're doing this and it's barely going anywhere. Now you can
Right.
focus on the basics, which is cornering, braking, exit,
100%.
entering, roll speed, yada yada yada, drafting, all
And
that good stuff that goes along with it.
that's something I feel like a lot of people are missing out on. And yeah, I have a certain perspective on it. I mean, I've been riding my CBR 1000's a 2011. It is analog. This is traction control, slide control, wheelie control. It's just all on the throttle. You can go and buy a brand new V4R and immediately be fast on it. If you have any idea on how to ride a motorcycle, that bike is an amazing bike, and it is very easy to ride fast on a bike like that. Whereas go hop on an NSR 500, see what happens. Like
Yep. You'd be on
the
that struggle
analog bike,
bus.
yes, yeah. Now the analog bikes where the bike isn't masking any of your shortcomings as a rider or any of your deficiencies in, let's say, bike education, it is an entirely different experience. And man, um, me and my brother have spent the last week. I finally listened to my own advice. I bought myself a SV650, and the whole goal for this bike is it is going to be the shittiest SV650 anybody's ever seen. Like the tank's already pre-dented. I've got hot pink grips on it. The bodywork is going to look like it got dragged out of a dumpster. I'm still going to hold the bike back. I'm still going to be slow on that thing, but knowing all this, when I do finally catch that, Ducati V2 or V4R in a turn and I pass them, it's gonna sting a little bit more for whoever gets past.
Facts, right? 110%. 110%. K Dub says using a clutch lever costs you 2 seconds.
Bro,
That's hilarious.
We're not gonna get into that. That
Ah,
is a whole other a whole other discussion.
that's hilarious, man. Oh my god. But being out on the track, man, there's nothing like it, man. It's really not.
No.
The people you meet, like Sergi said, "What's up, Sergi?" He says pros just do the basics better. It's
Yes.
the way I see it, man, is like it's not the talent, right? It's all 80% right here, right? And 20% talent, meaning Valentino Rossi, Mark Marquez, and all that. They might have a little bit more of a natural talent, right? And a little bit more feel, but you can get there. Look at everybody that's beat Marquez and everybody that's beat Rossi, right? Or doing or
Right.
Rain Gardner. I mean, listen, they don't know it all, right? Everybody, and we said this earlier, is constantly learning and constantly evolving. And that's why they train a lot on those small bikes too, as well.
Right, right. No, I watched a podcast, I can't remember who it was, but it's some other, obviously legends of the sport, some old British road racers, and they're talking about how um, they they understand what Toprak is doing and how he's blending rear and front brake to do these amazing things. No matter how hard they try, they can't figure it out. And everybody, like, he has innate talent for that, obviously. I don't think anybody can dispute that he's probably one of the better people on the brakes, but he's still figuring it out. And you can get to that level. The only thing that's going to get you there is seat time, not fancy brakes.
Facts. 110%, man. Facts and brakes. You put all those brakes on, you're not used to it. It's going to grab a lot harder. It's going to take a little longer to heat up. And then all your braking points going to be all messed up. Your turn in points. It's like,
Right,
yeah,
right. Because you're
100%.
gonna. This happened to me. Hey, sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, just kick it out. This happened to me. Is I bought like really fancy rotors, like World Superbike rotors, and put them on the bike. And then the first time I went out, I was like, "Oh fuck! Like what the hell?" Like I barely touched the brakes, and I just dropped 20 miles an hour slower than I usually enter this turn. Like, what just happened? And it got so bad to a point where I just stopped using the brakes because it was slowing me down too much. And now I'm back at a place where okay, I can finally start reintroducing brakes because last time I just grazed them, I lost way more speed than I should have, and it made me slower. But wait, fancy parts are supposed to make you faster. Eh. Stock rotors are perfectly fine for 95% of people.
Facts.
Now,
Facts.
if you like nice stuff and you want to spend money and like spend money in the motorcycle community, all the power to you. But don't tell me it makes you faster.
It,
Nice
it,
shit is nice, but
it don't make it quicker just by bolting on stuff. Right.
yeah,
Yeah. You
yeah.
got to have the skill to be able to work that part you're putting on it.
Yes,
And
and
to figure it out.
understanding. Yeah,
And the
right, the
understanding.
understanding.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and that all goes back to what we said earlier is the basics of riding, right? I think a lot of people think they got the basics down when they don't. No
No,
understanding of
no.
basics at all. Even Sergi says, work on one thing at a time. You don't have enough brain to make up multiple adjustments simultaneously, right? That's a fact. We think
No,
we do.
because oh my god, like the sensory overload you get from riding a motorcycle. So, I'm ADHD as hell. Like I had to be on a whole bunch of meds to just get through college, and I consider myself pretty sharp. I get on a motorcycle and bruh, like room temperature IQ. Like I do not have the facilities to think about like even for a turn everything that goes on. You have to like slow down and get to a point where you can think about what you're doing or even just breathe. Like 75% of capability or even 50% of your capability so that you understand, okay, I'm going to apply the brakes here and I'm going to let them off there. And that's all you can focus on. You can't focus on, okay, well, where's my weight? How much weight am I putting on the front versus the rear? No, that's a different lap or a different session. If you're working on brakes, that is the only thing you can work on is where are you applying, how much, where are you letting off. If you try and do that and then okay, I'm going to roll on as hard as I can, you're going to end up probably in the dirt or slower than you thought you were going, because there's too much to think of. And I think I watched an interview of somebody, was a Formula One racer, and they were like, "Oh, what do you think of as you're racing?" It's like, "What I'm going to have for dinner." Like, I've practiced so much that like I basically shut my brain off and I just go through the motions. And I think once the basics get to a point where you're at that level, then you're getting it. Like if you don't have to think about, um, okay, here's the weight transfer, here's where I get on the brakes, and this is what the front tire is doing, and it's rather just I'm gonna make it through this turn, then you're starting to actually get fast. Because man, there's people that make it look easy, and it's because it is to them. They've put in the time, they've put in the effort, and they have the muscle memory to do it without devoting all of their attention to how much brake pressure am I giving it now, or how much throttle and am I going to give it when. And it's again just goes back to seat time and coaching, because
100%, right?
a coach will tell you like, hey, you're letting off here, you don't have to turn a little harder, or just let the throttle breathe for a second and then get back on it. Oh, well, you just made 2 seconds.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. And you said it, muscle memory. That's exactly what it is, right? Those that because
Yes.
they got a lot of seat time, that it's just all muscle memory. It's just like somebody that
Yeah.
practices at the shooting range all the time, right? It's that muscle memory, boom, boom, John
Yeah.
Wick status, so to speak, right? You
Yeah.
gotta
100%.
get up to that. You gotta
100%.
practice. It's all that repetition and muscle memory. And that's where what
Yeah.
we just talked about, the seat time. The more seat time you have, the more muscle memory is gonna happen. But
Yep.
again, you gotta leave that ego outside if you're gonna do that and learn.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're
No.
not gonna learn anything.
No. The ego in the pits is okay, but as soon as you go down pit road, just it needs to go away,
Look at
because
this dude. Did you
you're not
just
gonna
wake
learn
up?
anything.
My boy stayed up till like 5:30 in the morning playing Fortnite with his buddies.
Hell yeah.
I love it, man. Yeah, we'll go after this. I'll take you to the store so you can get your gift card.
No, Papa and Granny coming up. We have to wait
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Papa and Grandma's coming over. That's right. That's right. Um, but yeah, I mean, dude, you're absolutely right on that. I think a lot of people, um, the ego, man, ego is the biggest killer we have in our sport. Not just in motorcycle racing, in all racing, right? And that's
Yeah.
why I'm a huge fan of endurance racing, right? Because it'll be me, you, and K Dub on this by SV650. I like my clip-ons and brake and clutch lever and rear sets on these certain positions, but it's not. It's a happy medium between everybody. Then we get out there on a bike. I'm figuring it out. I'm riding a bike that's not set up for
Yes.
me, that's unfamiliar, but I'm going fast. I'm learning to go fast on it, which is you're learning, right? You don't
Right. And
realize it.
I was very fortunate. Like after I had, I think it was just right before I got rid of the RC51, or right after, I was fortunate enough to ride on track on several different bikes. Uh, R6, 20, what was it, a 2021 or something like that. It was a stock bike, but it had bodywork on it, had rear sets. It had clip-ons as well. Anyway, nothing special, but completely different experience than from my roommate at the time had a SV650. And then I borrowed a buddy of mine's CBR 500R, which three completely different bikes, but becoming adaptable, or being able to just not worry about, okay, well, R6, I got to keep it above 12,000 RPM, otherwise it feels like a Ninja 300. Whereas the SV, it was just like, don't rev it out because it stops making power after like 10,000 RPM. And then dude, the CBR 500 is by far like the worst bike I've ever ridden on track. But at the same time, it taught me a lot, because it weighed as much as my current Fireblade, but that thing had like 40 horsepower on a good day. So
Downhill with the wind.
right, exactly. Like you're going down the straight with the arm behind your back, and you're just like, please, a little bit more, let's go. But then you get into the turns, and it's just as much effort as a leader bike, and you can't turn on the throttle because it doesn't have any. But yeah, becoming an adaptable rider or having that variety teaches you a lot about, okay, well, every bike is a little bit different, but how can you be consistent, or how can you be proficient at the basics across like 3 or 4 different platforms? And I think that helped me get like, I'm not going to say I have the basics down because I definitely don't. I'm at like 25% at most of the basics, but it helped me realize that ultimately all bikes are the same. If you put me on a DRZ 400 SM or a RC51 around a track, yeah, there's going to be some differences with what you do, but ultimately you're on 2 wheels. If you have a understanding of the basics, you're going to be okay. Now, 2 very, very different bikes, and the more time you spend with one versus the other is going to change your perspective of that. But more seat time never hurt nobody. So,
I
yeah.
I just want to say real quick, boo on selling the RC51, man. Oh, why'd you sell the 51?
So I bought it for 3.5 grand, and it was a piece of shit. um, it had a rough life. So mine had 42,000 miles on it, and I'm pretty sure half of that was track miles. Um, it was a special bike, but man, the amount of money I would have had to spend on it. Stock rear sets, stock suspension, probably never been serviced. The engine had a Power Commander 3 on it that I'm still convinced didn't work properly. The only nice thing about that bike was it had the high mount Milwaukee like rainbow exhaust. And it sounded so good. But I sold it to fund the 2011 CBR 1000, which, uh, in terms of learning, it was a lot easier to learn on the Fireblade than it was the RC51. And if I had ever crashed the RC51, ooh,
Be crying. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
because the pipes were close to immaculate, and it would have hurt me. But every now and then I see like either a track prepped RC51 that has everything done to it and it would be perfect, or like a mint Nikki Hayden edition. I'm like, oh man, I missed that bike. That bike was awesome because you started it and man, it sounded like a muscle car.
Bro.
That bike was amazing. And like riding on the street, dude, I think the longest ride I had on my RC51 was like 8.5 hours. My back was screaming, but God, that was a good bike.
Yeah.
Just wrong time.
Yeah.
Wrong time.
I got a '03. I bought it last year. It had 15,000, like 600 miles on it. It's got like 16.1 on it now. Yeah, it's beautiful, immaculate. It's every time I open the garage door, I get a boner. I'm like, oh my God, you're the sexiest thing ever. Like, I just want to hug you, make love to you right now. I'm in there playing love music, right? Butt naked in the garage. My wife opens the door. She's like, yeah, I'll come back later. I'll let you do your thing.
They
Yeah,
were they were such special bikes.
they are, man.
They were awesome. And
They are.
I mean, God forbid Honda ever makes anything like that again, which they won't. But if they did, I'd be waiting outside of the
Yeah,
dealership like a somebody craving a Black Friday sale.
me
That would be
too,
awesome.
buddy. Me too. And I just want to take it back real quick. The old analog bikes, man. I feel like, and you said it too earlier, you get on a brand new R1, V4R, whatever, it's got so many electronic fuckery on it, and it makes us mere mortals seem like we're rock stars on the track, right? Because it got
Yes.
so much technology in it to where an analog bike, you gotta blip the throttle, do the clutch to match the revs up so the rear don't lock up, hop, da, 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 da. It's
Yep.
like it's I feel like the way the technology is going, it's great. Yes, we need it, but I also feel like it takes away from the natural ability of riders to a certain point, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And man, I can't remember who it was. I was fortunate enough to sit in on an interview with some of the MotoGP riders. Who who was it, Maverick and someone else. I forget who it was. It'll come back to me eventually. But both of them basically said Moto 3 is more fun than MotoGP because MotoGP the rider is there, but it is a battle of engineers. It is whoever can figure out to have more downforce on the front wheel going into a turn, or whose traction control scheme is set up better. And they were complaining about, like, specifically at Coda down the long straight, they're overheating the front tire down a straight because of the amount of downforce the aero creates, which that is insane. Like, awesome that we can do that with technology. And I know active aero is not allowed or anything. And I'm sure if there were no restrictions, those bikes would actually become monsters. But they were talking about how it's moving away from the skill of the rider and rather to the skill of the engineer or whoever's setting up the electronics, because all those bikes accelerate at the same rate out of a corner because they're at that bleeding edge of, you can only get that much traction out of a tire. Like, if you put 360 horsepower into it, like a 270 rear tire, that there's only so much the tire can do. Like, come on. And the same thing with on the brakes. Like, you can only slow down that fast physically before, like, everybody's going to be doing the same thing. So the Moto 3 riding at Coda was awesome because last lap, 7 wide into the last turn. Like, come on, man. Come on. Whereas I think Alex Rins won that year. Man, I'm not saying it wasn't awesome. It was a phenomenal experience, but the Moto 3 racing, like, kicked MotoGP's ass because it was actual, like, all those bikes are the same. It is rider for rider. It is who had more balls going a little bit deeper into a turn, because they're not limited by, you know, hey, you can only brake this hard before this bike explodes, or you can only accelerate this hard out of a turn, which I feel like a lot of people need to kind of go back to that. And Honda now on their MotoGP bike has imitation throttle cables because they want to go back to rider feedback, or
the feel of the actual throttle cable.
exactly, because yeah, just a potentiometer is better. No shit, but an experienced rider is going to be able to tell more from a cable throttle than, okay, well, all right, let's go. Oh, I see corner exit, TC, traction control. Let's go, wheelie control. Okay, we're good.
Yep.
Which, sadly, that's how it is now. But
yeah, I'm not a huge fan of all the aerodynamics and all this MotoGP. I get it. It's the premier class. It's since Liberty took over. Well, even before that,
right,
it's just gotten insane. They got all these buttons and all this shit, man. And that's why I'm such a huge fan of BSB. They're racing 240 horsepower motorcycles with barely any
yes,
electronics. So it's the old school, proper way of
yes,
racing and riding. I think that the one thing that I would love to see in our series, especially in Moto America, is to even the playing field is maybe make a Moto America spec wiring harness with the ECU that only allows you to have certain parameters that you're allowed to TC, engine brake, whatever that you're allowed to play with, and that's it, right? So it puts
yeah,
everything back in the rider's skill, and it keeps the cost down. Now you don't have to have an $80,000 engineer and data
right,
guy
right,
and all this shit, right? It's you keep it
right.
simple.
And I think BSB does that. That, what are they running? Motec ECUs or something like that? Everybody's on
I
the
think
same
so,
shit.
yeah.
Everybody's on
Shit.
limited electronics, and it is more up to the skill of the rider, which, it's a sport. Let's try to keep it a sport, because
Yeah.
if you give some basement engineers enough time, they will design a bike that will obliterate anybody. And all it would need is somebody to shift their weight a little bit and do this at the right time, and the bike's going to do what it needs to do. But it's a sport. Let's keep it that. Like, I would be more excited about like 100% analog 1000cc series, like sort of like what BSB's got going on, than MotoGP as it is right now.
100%.
And then let's not get into the next gen 800cc class that they're making, which is a mistake. But
850s.
anyway,
That's definitely a whole nother topic, man. It's
yeah,
and I explained this to my buddies, like, oh, that R1's probably got 250, 60 horsepower. I was like, but what you don't realize is when Gagne or Bobier or whoever's out there on the track or whatever bike there is, they detune the power down to make those quick lap times. They're not even utilizing. They can't. The bike, it's just physically almost impossible.
yeah.
So why do we need 250 horsepower to begin with? Again, that's that ego, that man ego. Oh, I got 300 horsepower.
Yeah, man,
You
I'm on
ain't
a big
using it.
bike. What did that is? Why is the SV650 passing me on corner entry? Anyway,
Right. Why this 14-year-old on this 250 NSF went around the outside, right? Yeah. I
right.
get him on the straight. My grandma can
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
Flower, let's go.
Dude, so speaking of Precision Track Days, we got good buddy Jeff Heron. What is up, man?
Dude, Jeff is the man. Like,
Jeff is the man.
I was at CMP, my girlfriend had crashed, and I was like, oh shit, I don't have these tools. And I went and asked, I think it was Jeff's wife, hey, do you guys have that? And they just pointed at the toolbox and said, whatever you need. Like, whatever you need. And I was like, shit, okay. Fix the bike. And then I think I cut myself or something. And I was like, does somebody have a Band-Aid? And they were there. They were like, here we go. Just awesome people. And again, it goes back to, I've yet to meet somebody at Precision who is staff that hasn't like amplified my experience at the track, because between the coaches, just like pit support, like if you ask for something, somebody's going to show up with that thing, or somebody's going to come and help you, whether it's staff or some of the regulars. It's just awesome group of people. And the Herons are, yeah, we still need to hang out like outside of the track. I know they're just down the road from us, but man, they're just awesome people. Every time I see them at the track, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love him and Jessica and their daughter. They're absolutely amazing people, man. So you guys stay tuned because Jeff is coming on. As soon as he gets his camera for his computer, right? Let's go. I love it, man. I love it.
Hit up Khalil. Khalil will help you.
100%. Sergi says, who remembers the fourth gear no brakes drill? Me, 110%. I remember Aaron Stevenson says, okay, we're gonna go out fourth gear, no brakes. And I was like, wait, what? We're doing what? Yeah. You learn so much.
Brakes,
roll speed,
no brakes
like quarter, dude. It's intimidating. It's very scary when you do it, but then it comes together. It makes sense. Right. It's weird the way it works, and it's like because you're scared shitless, you go in a corner like because you're intimidated, so you're like, I'm not gonna go as fast down the straight. I'm not gonna, give it. And then the more you do it, the more comfortable. The next thing you know, you're like, I'm not too far off of what I'm really doing when I'm using the brakes.
So what is it? Turn one at Jennings, it's a left-hand double apex. And the first time I did it without brakes, I was like, I damn near shit myself. But I realized you can go into that turn way faster than you think. And just because you have it doesn't mean you should use it. Like Nick Vetrano, he's one of the Southern Track Day coaches, but he also coaches with the FSU Police Department, I believe. He was saying like he's done no brake drills at Jennings, and he's down to like 22, a minute 22, which is that's 10 seconds off the lap record without brakes. Like maybe we don't need brakes, but
brakes, who needs those?
Right. They just slow you down anyway.
Facts.
But like, man, the quickest way for me to learn a bike is like a fourth gear no brakes or third gear no brakes like lap, because it teaches you, okay, well, here's where you can roll off, here's where you're slowing down too much. And then, I mean, some turns fourth or third gear is just not the right gear to be in, but it kind of like shows you the character of the bike. And then also, do you really need to slow down that much for that turn? Probably not. Just let's get a little bit more corner speed through there. Come on now. Which, like at CMP turn 14, God, I hate that turn because I feel like I need to be in first, but I really should just be in second with more balls. But we'll get there eventually. We'll get there eventually.
I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah, and you know, what was saying that too is when one habit I see is it's difficult for a lot of people is when they develop bad habits on the street and then they get into track days. It's hard to break those bad habits. That's why coaching is so important. They will help you
Yes.
understand the bad habits you have and make you aware of why you're doing what you're doing and why it's wrong and show you the proper way. And then it might
Right.
be difficult at first because that's all changing your body position and all this stuff
Right.
that goes along with it. But at the end of the session, at the end of the day, at the end of the weekend, however many days you're there, a light's going to come on. You're going to be like, dude, I don't know shit.
Yeah.
Again, like we talked about, but that breaking those bad habits is very important, you know. And that's why, you know, when the young kids get an SFL mini GP, another big shout out to them is they're teaching them the correct basics from a young age.
Yes.
They don't, and I'm sure along the way, even the professional riders, they develop some type of little bad habit along the way, right? I think it's just a natural human thing. Um,
It is what it is, and I
it
mean,
is
like
what it
Mark
is.
Morrow, I
Yep.
guess another shout out there.
Yep.
Like I think I heard somebody ask him like, when should I take your race school? And he said, whenever you can. Like, if you know how to ride a bike, take the school, because that is the best time to take the school, because there's going to be no bad habits to unlearn. Whereas if somebody's been riding street for a couple of years and then decides to do track days, there's going to be some bad habits. Um, Dragging the rear brake always, for example, especially at the track, or just vision. Vision was probably the hardest thing for me to get around, because on the street it's just like keep your eyes low, and you know what's right in front of you or sort of in front of you is kind of what you pay attention to. Like, pay attention to the brake lights of the car in front of you, not the apex of the turn. Whereas at the track, you need to be looking where you're going. Otherwise, you're going to end up where you're looking. Um,
Facts.
so it's, yeah, there's plenty of bad habits from street riding, and I think honestly, as soon as you have the basics of, if you can shift gears and you can do a figure eight in a parking lot, go to the track, get
100%.
coaching, just start
100%.
learning properly how to ride a bike, because I had to unlearn like two
A lot.
years of 2 years
Bad
of riding on
habits,
the
yeah,
street. Right,
yeah.
exactly. And man,
One
but
thing
yeah,
that
no,
that I always, try to, focus on too is peripheral vision, right? Like, I'm talking to you, I see cars coming by on the
yes,
street and all that, especially on the street, you know, you got potholes and deer and all this shit coming out in cars, it's but that also translates
yeah,
to the track, you know, you always wanna look through the corner, look through the next corner, look at the exit as you're approaching, yada, yada, yada.
yeah,
That coincides together, right? Is that peripheral
yeah,
vision, paying attention, being aware of your surroundings, and they even tell you that in rider school, right? Like, be aware of your
yes, yeah.
surroundings. It's your job if you're going to make the pass to make the correct pass, and you know all that stuff along goes along with it. So,
Yeah, because in a car, you're worried about what's in front of you and what's behind of you, I hope. But on a motorcycle, you need to be like two cars back, two cars forward, two cars to the side. Like, you need to keep your head on a swivel, because especially in Florida, man, people will run you over and not notice. Like, it is really bad. And
and they
um
don't give a
the
shit.
no, they're gonna be like, what did I hit?
Yeah,
Whatever.
whatever.
Um Yeah, and I think the nail in the coffin for me when it came to street riding is, my girlfriend was headed home from my place, and she was stopped at a red light. There was a car in front of her, and she still got rear-ended. She had reflectors on the backpack, a bright pink bike, brake lights, like pulsing, everything. She did everything correctly. Somebody still just didn't decide to slow
Same quickly.
down
You know,
and rear-ended her doing 70. It's a miracle nothing happened. She got rushed to the hospital. They checked her out and everything, and I think she got her, like, sprained her back or something like that, and that was it. But the rider did everything correctly. It was because of somebody's inattentiveness that that entire incident happened, and I've heard time and time again of people either dying or getting permanently, disabled or disfigured because of somebody else's like lack of attention, especially. I mean, come on, most people are driving like this now, and that's what I was just like, okay, if I'm going into 10A at Road Atlanta and I'm not paying attention and I end up running off at triple digits, it's my bad. I can live with that. But if I'm at a red light and I get rear-ended and that's how I go out, nah,
Not gonna
that's
sit
not
well with you.
okay.
Yes, not
Nah,
okay.
I'm gonna haunt them. I don't care.
I'm coming for you, baby. Yeah, that's right.
Right, exactly. So
Uh,
that was it. And now I'm like, man, I don't even want to ride on the street anymore. I mean, some of the best street riding I've ever had is in North Carolina, and it's probably some of the safest street riding I've had. But even then, man, the track is so special because you can really give it your all at the track and it's perfectly safe. Whereas at the street, I had this conversation with my family earlier. It's like I've done some dumb shit in the mountains in North Carolina. Like I'm on a DRZ 400 and I'm taking turns at like double the speed limit. Like, why am I doing this? What sense does this make? And it doesn't. Like, just save it for the track. Just stop riding on the street. It's not worth it. It is
it's
not
not.
worth it.
No, no, it's not. I don't ride on the street very much anymore. I feel like
Right.
every time I go out, especially with the cell phones, right? You're right. There's too many people freaking putting up eye makeup and worrying about their TikTok or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
we got a good mate of mine all the way from across the pond. Craigo, what is up, mate? He says, Merry Christmas from on the other side of the pond. Merry Christmas, mate. Absolutely. He says, totally agree. Electronic aids are crazy. I took a new ZX10RR out and I couldn't believe that I could just rip the throttle open and let the bike do the rest after taking my old R1 out with no aids and trying it to send me to the moon at even a quarter throttle coming out of the binge. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know,
No, there's plenty of nannies, and like if you know what you're doing, it definitely makes you faster. But man, like again, Minimoto, going back to the basics, having no aids, nothing like that, teaches you a little bit differently. And I'm not saying that the Moto America guys aren't fast because of their aids. A lot of those guys are fast, really, really fast. The rider aids are just that, aids.
I know.
If you grew up riding with rider aids, you probably don't understand how it works as much as some of the older guys who've been riding on analog bikes, because their slide control was throttle input, and
facts.
they're not doing this and hoping the traction control light comes on.
Hoping the engineer got good rest night that night, right? Yeah.
Right. They're
Uh,
rolling on smoothly until they see the brown pants.
that's it, right? K Dub says BSB fucks hard. It does, man. It's my
Yes.
favorite production series in the world. 110%. Everybody knows I talk about it all the time, man, for sure. Craigo says Motec here in BSB. That's what I thought it
Yep.
was.
Yep. Motec.
And then going back, Sergi says Britain for basement engineer examples. Yeah, Britain, man. What an ingenious motorcycles. 110%. Jeff
Right.
says, we love you guys, bro. We love you and Jessica too. Yeah,
That's
110%.
awesome.
Jeff did say, Simcoe, I got my camera in, brother. Facts. Let's have a phone
Hell
call.
yeah. So next week, right?
Let's have a phone call. For sure. Jessica says, hey, awesome fellas, mucho love. Absolutely. Mucho
Oh,
love
man,
to
we
you.
love you guys.
Absolutely, we do. Marcus says, I see Rex every day out here in California because of cell phones. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, and I mean, unfortunately, it's just how it is now. I mean, you can write as many laws as you want.
We're gonna break them anyway. Right on, it
Right.
don't matter. Yeah, we're gonna bend
Right.
them. I love it.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, well, either everybody needs a full self-driving Tesla or they need to start paying attention, because
Yeah. I
it's
don't want
kind
to
of what it boils down to.
No,
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 I'm
not at
not
all.
a Tesla fan. My family is, but
It's
I
okay. We
figure if
forgive you.
yeah, it's fine. Uh, if you're gonna take the responsibility, and I'm not discounting the technology or anything like that, but I'd rather be in control of 4,000 plus pounds of carnage myself than some engineering, because I work with engineers for a living, and we are special. We are not as smart as a lot of people think we are.
Oh, that's hilarious. I'm laughing at K Dubs. K says, "My name is Khalil and I have rider aids." Oh, I love it,
Oh, dude.
man. Lewis, what is up, Lewis? I hope you and the family had a Merry Christmas. Give everybody hugs for me. He says, I'm way more concerned that my kid will decide to try street riding than anything he might attempt on track. That's a fact, man.
Man,
100%.
Minimoto.
Minimoto.
That's the
That's it.
answer.
Well, Lewis, his son, Jack, man, Butry, he's a freaking proper weapon on the track. He's a future legend of the sport. You guys just stay tuned because you will see him in Moto America making headways for sure. Let's see. K Dub says, finish that beer.
I'm fucking working on it, dude. This beer's like 11%, and I haven't eaten anything all day. God damn.
Right? Shots. Let's go. Right? Yeah, I love it. Oh man, listen, dude, I love this. I love this conversation, man. You know, because you're new to it. You're just getting into it. You're saying all the right things. You're doing all the right things to make that progression, and I love it. So I hope a lot of people get a lot of information from this, and this is why I love doing this. It's getting that vital information out there.
At the end of the day, I'm not fast. Like, I'm intermediate, like through and through. There's people way faster than I am, and like any coach from Precision will hand me my ass, like even on a bad day. But there's so much like misconception behind starting riding, and also again like the ego thing. Like just leave that shit at home, leave it in the pits. Like I think sometimes me and my brother scare coaches from other organizations because they're like, man, these guys are dickheads. Like, holy shit. Like I'm always asking for a bump first session out in the riders meeting. Like, just the attitude we give, and then as soon as we get on track, we're just like, oh shit, we like, damn, it's time to get serious. Which there's so much to learn. I mean, it's not the safest thing to be doing, riding motorcycles around the track, but I mean, it beats street riding. But at the end of the day, it's so much fun. It is so much fucking fun.
That's the key word, fun.
Yeah, if you're not having fun, go home.
Pack it up.
Yeah,
because you're gonna end up hurting yourself or somebody else.
Yeah, because you're gonna go into a turn or do something where it's way over your head and you're gonna hurt yourself. And nobody wants that. I've packed up plenty of crashed bikes and I've helped get people home. It's not fun for anybody. Just don't do it. Your lap times are not that important, because a year from now you're gonna be like, damn, I was slow as shit. Like,
yeah,
what was
at the end
I
of the
doing?
day, nobody gives a shit about your lap times. Let's just be honest, right?
No.
Like,
And
look, what is up, dude?
Here to crash the party, boys.
It's all right. Crash it. Let's go. Real quick,
That's
Marcus
funny.
Decker says, you guys have me convinced I need a Ninja 300 now. You do.
100%.
Go out there and buy one.
100%. So it's actually
100%.
funny, Marcus. I'm faster at my home track on the Ninja 300 than I am on my CBR 1000, which is insane because the Ninja doesn't scare me, and that is like the biggest thing to learn. If you're on a bike that scares you, just drop down. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. If you're on a small bike, nobody gives a fuck. But if you're on a big bike and you're scared for your life every single time you crack the throttle open, you're not learning. You're in survival mode. You don't have time to think on a big bike, and your comfort zone is a lot smaller. On the 300, you can read a novel down a front straight. Like,
you can listen to a 3-hour podcast for real. Like, I'm gonna take a nap.
Yeah, you've got plenty of time to think, and that is plenty of time to learn, more importantly.
100%.
Because halfway through a turn, you could be like, oh, okay, I fucked up on that. I'll get that next turn. Whereas on the leader bike, it's like, oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh, kind of messed that up. Oh god, I gotta do it again. Yeah, no,
Not
it
having
is
fun.
insane.
Yeah,
No,
you're not having
no.
fun.
I have way more fun on the 300 than I do the leader bike, especially at Jennings.
100%, my man. So, which brings me, man, what's the deal with 2026 moving forward, man? What's your plans? What's your goals?
So, yes, plenty of plans, plenty of goals. So, it's a long time coming, and I've said next year for about 2 years now, but I'm finally having my first foray into racing. Finally. I will be on a racing team, tuxedo shirt racing for the 2026 Separano Classic in January. And it will be the first time I ever race a motorcycle. I'm doing the race school the day before the races. So we're gonna have a good time. We're definitely gonna have a good time. I'm very excited to start racing. So the race license I get will be good for Wera and Azra, and I'm definitely going to try and make it to at least one of the rounds in each of the major organizations next year. And if I'm a backmarker, so be it. I'm going to be having fun, and I'm going to be learning a lot, that is the most important thing, because
Facts.
it is racing and there's other people on the grid, but if you're faster at the end of the race than you were at the start of the race, guess what? You're doing it right. And it's only a matter of time until you're mid or even front pack. So
100%.
we're gonna see what happens, but it should be a good time. Still nervous, still gonna be scary, but I mean, fuck it, we ball. We're gonna try it out. But
Oh, you're
yeah,
gonna kill it, man.
2026. Yes, no, 2026 is going to be awesome. Headed to Coda with Precision Track Days, which that is a bucket list track for sure. I'm very happy that Kevin and Fahad figured that out. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of riding next year, especially now that I have a SV650. Track time got a little bit cheaper because it doesn't destroy tires like the 1000. And still, man, the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement, right? So
and that is a fact, my friend. The biggest room in the app is improvement. K-Dub says, shout out Brennan Rogers, got to get him on here. Bro, let's make it happen. 100%.
Absolutely.
I tell everybody that listens to this dude, you want to come on the podcast, reach out to me. I'll get you on the podcast. It's that easy. It's that simple.
It really is. So here's what happened is I think I commented on a post or replied to Chris on Facebook or some shit. And then Chris just sent me his phone number. It's like, let's have a chat. And he called me up and he was like, you want to be on the podcast? And I was like, man, I'm just some dickhead intermediate rider. Why do you want me on the podcast? He's like, that's exactly why. Let's get you on the podcast. It is that easy. And yeah, no, I mean, I've been watching plenty of podcasts, and it's always a good time. It is always a good time, and to talk about grassroots motorsports, right? This is about as grassroots as you get.
That's it, man. Absolutely, dude. Listen, this has been a lot of fun. We're almost an hour and 30 minutes into this podcast.
Oh
man.
my god!
I know it goes by quick, right? But you guys stay tuned, man, because me and Yardie are definitely going to sit back down next year. I want to get his story on after his first race weekend and all that goes along with it. I cannot wait for that. I do want to transition and ask you some personal questions. But before we end this podcast, just so everybody gets to know you a little bit better that don't know you. Let's see. K-Dub says Chris really is the Mr. Rogers of motorcycle. Hey, I've been called worse, right? I'm just joking. I'm joking, K-Dub. I love you, man. I do. Crago says I couldn't do my SV650. I'm so used to screaming inline fours on 600s that the SV was constantly on the rev limiter with me thinking, why the fuck is this thing not going forward? You know,
skill issue.
at twins, you got to ride it in a different way than an inline four, right? Because it don't rev as
Yeah.
high. You use the torque to your advantage and all that.
Yeah,
So
so I rode my girlfriend's R6, and I'm like, man, this thing doesn't do shit until you're north of 12,000 RPM. This is a
nothing.
fucking workout. Whereas like the RC51, bro, it cracks the throttle, you got torque.
Yep.
It's everywhere. It is just a different animal.
It is 110%. So I want to start off, man, by like I usually do, man. It's one of my favorite questions, man. Is tell us something we don't know about you at all.
Oh boy. Let's see. Something interesting. My or how I pay the bills and the racing fees, especially next year, is that I'm a lo-
OnlyFans.
I'm a launch integration engineer. So I strap satellites to rockets and send rockets into orbit. Um, so that's why I was saying earlier that engineers are not as smart as you think. I mean, they gave me a degree. Um,
And I shoot rockets to space. What are you talking about? I love it.
yeah, I work with basically ICBMs. So, but yeah, that is the one interesting fact.
I love it. And when we're saying that, what's your worst habit?
My worst habit? Uh, um, man, this is gonna sound like an interview question where I turn like a deficiency into a asset. But like, if there's somebody at the track and they're struggling with something, whether it's like fixing their bike or they're just having a hard time with something mechanical, I can't help myself. I got to go over and help. If it's putting on a wheel, if it's figuring out why your thermostat keeps hopping off or some shit like that, I can't help it. I got to go and help them. Which a lot of track days results in me maybe not paying enough attention to my own riding and my what I'm doing because I just want to make sure everybody has a good time. If like at the last track day, I wasn't riding, but I was there with Khalil, and he had just blown up his SV650, which is on the table back there right now. We're gonna fix it, don't worry. But he just blew it up, but somebody's radiator cap just exploded. I was like, dude, we have an SV650 that's out of commission. It's a Suzuki. It's a Suzuki. Suzuki likes not making the same part twice. Let's get you back on track. And he was able to complete the day because we loaned him a radiator cap. And anytime I see something like that, or I see somebody struggling putting a rear wheel on, yeah, I can't help myself. I gotta go and help because I know that if I was in that situation and somebody offered a hand, I would appreciate it. So, try and be the person you want to meet, right? Um, and it's crazy the amount of stuff I've helped with, from like diagnosing why your KTM won't start, it's because it's a KTM, to hey, this is how you arm an airbag, like this is how you turn your bike on, like
He said it's the KTM. I
yeah,
love it.
man, they're awesome machines. The engineering is awesome, but 9 times out of 10, if somebody's cussing their bike out in the pits, it's a KTM.
It was funny because when I finally met K Dub, I forget the guy's name he was with. He was on a KTM 790, if I'm not mistaken. When I met him at VIR, I can't remember what the guy's name
Oh, I know
was.
that guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
Ward. He's on
yep,
890R. Yep.
yep. There it is. Yeah, yeah. Ward. That's it. Yeah, absolutely. Um, let me ask you this, man. I I'm a big audiobook listener to. Do you listen to any audiobooks? I'm currently listening to The Art of Racing in the Rain. That's what I'm listening to.
I need to write that down. I need to listen to that too.
I'll send it to you.
I try and listen to audiobooks. So I have an hour commute each way from work. I've been listening to Pin the Gas this last year. But as far as audiobooks goes, let's see. I think the last audiobook I listened to was about cleanliness. Mary Kondo. I can't remember the name of the book. Khalil might know. But just about if something doesn't bring you joy, throw it away. It's not worth it.
100%.
Like, obviously you need shit to survive, but if looking at it doesn't make you happy, do you
Get
really?
rid of it. Get rid of
Yeah.
it. Don't hold on. Let it
Which
go.
is why every time you see your RC51, you get a boner. Keep that shit. Don't
Oh, I
ever get
do.
rid of it.
Trust me. I do. Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna go out
Yeah.
there and play with her today. 110%.
Perfect.
I
Perfect.
love it, man. I love
Yeah.
it. And again, thank you so much for tuning in and listening to the podcast. It means a lot to me, man. It really does.
It makes my commute seem a lot shorter.
Thank you. Yeah, but that book, man, Art of Racing in the Rain's a great book, man. I'll send you the link, man.
Okay.
It's about a dog's perspective of him and his owners, dude. It's yeah, if you're a dog lover, it's a highly recommended book for sure.
Yep.
Couldn't even talk there for a second. Let me ask you this, man. What advice would you give to, people that want to get into track days and club racing?
Other than just fucking do it. Don't take yourself seriously.
That's it.
Like, that is probably the single best piece of advice I can give anybody is do not take yourself seriously, because the things that you get upset about are not going to matter. And if it doesn't matter in 5 years, you wasted a whole bunch of energy on it. Like, if you think somebody disrespected you and you're mad about it, think like, in 5 years, am I even going to give a shit? Am I even going to fucking remember this shit? Probably not. So just take a back seat a little bit and don't take yourself seriously, especially at the track. I mean, if you go out there and you're like, oh, I gotta get this lap time, I've ruined more than one weekend doing that, where I'm like, I need to get this lap time this weekend, and it doesn't happen. Whereas if I'm like, ah, fuck it, I'm just gonna go have fun, and then I come back into the pits and I look at my lap timer and I'm like, holy shit, how did I do that? What the fuck?
Hi, sexy.
Chris
Oh,
has got family.
Huh?
Chris has a family.
He does have a family. He keeps
I
thinking
do.
of
Yeah. No, but
You know what the needle nose are? The needle nose?
No.
Love you, Chris.
I love you.
that. See if it does it. Oh,
There you
there we
go.
Okay,
There
cool.
it is. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
They-
Sometimes
Thumbs up.
There we- oh, hell yeah.
Fireworks. Oh, I love it, dude. I've never done the fireworks before. Let's go. I love it. What's one superpower you wish you had?
Oh, Jesus. Man, that is difficult. It's a three-way tie, unfortunately. Invisibility, because man, the shit I could get into. Being able to fly so that I never break my collarbone when I high side inadvertently. And then probably super strength, because I mean, wow, I just described like Superman plus, but anyway.
Yeah, you should have said Superman. That's it, right?
Yeah, Superman plus the invisibility, because I think that shit's dope.
I would. Teleportation would be my thing. I would love to be able to just teleport anywhere at any given time. So I could be like, oh, I'm going to Phillip Island. Boom, I'm in Phillip Island. I'm going home, going to bed. Boom, I'm back at home, right? So like I could be like, yo, Yeti, we're gonna do this podcast together. I'm gonna be in your guys' garage, like, boom, there I am. Right. Then I'll be like,
Perfect.
okay, my grandparents are my wife's parents are home. I gotta go. Bam, there I am. Right.
Yes.
Well, yeah, it'd be cool. Listen, man, this has been a lot of fun. I'm actually going to save the rest of these questions for our next podcast next year, which is right around the corner when we sit back down again. Because yes, my wife's parents are here, and she texted me. She said, "Are you almost done?" I'm like, "Yeah, baby, just give me a minute."
We'll wrap it up.
Yeah, but first thing before I let you end the podcast, I just want to say, as I always do, man, thank you to everybody that listens to this podcast, that hits that like and subscribe. If you have not yet, please do it, man. 2025 has been proper mega year, man. I appreciate all the love and support. If it wasn't for Yeti and Yatri, dude, just everybody coming on this podcast, I wouldn't be here doing this. So thank you guys and girls for all the love and support. And for the whole couple years I've been doing this, it really means a lot to me. I can't wait to see everybody next year, which is right around the corner at the tracks. I got one more podcast for the end of the year. It's going to be a long speech on my end for sure. So it's you guys stay tuned for that one on the 31st. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much. There's so many people I want to give a shout out to. I'm gonna save it for the next one. Big shout out to Kubota though, real quick. Scott for sending me the merch, man. I really appreciate it. He sent me these limited edition little mini helmets too as well, man. So yeah, big shout out to him. Big shout out to the Clothing Kings out there in the UK and man, everybody. But listen, bro, this has been absolutely amazing. Proper mega. I appreciate you so much, man, for coming on here, sitting down with me today.
Thank
Please,
you for having me.
dude. The honor is absolutely all mine, my friend. Tell everybody where they can find you on all the social medias and the next track you're going to be at, so people come up and say hi and yeah, all that. And real quick, I do have some of these left, so people, if you need one, hit me up. They are going fast, and start out 2026 in the best way you can with a proper pin to gas shirt made by Hyper Naked.
I mean, they make an excellent pitch shirt. Just saying, guys. Just saying.
100%.
Yeah. I guess in terms of shout outs, I don't really got much. Thanks for the family, for all the support. My girlfriend for all the support always. This just goes out generally. Like if you're a motorcyclist, find your local vendor, and I'm sure you can find shit cheaper online. Fuck that. Support your local vendor. If it's $10 a part more, it doesn't matter. The $10 will come back. And if you're worried about $10, maybe pick a different hobby or realign yourself, like with what's important. But they've got families to eat too. They aren't selling motorcycle parts to you for fun. They're trying to make a living out of it. So instead of giving like Revzilla money, which sometimes you got to, I know, find your local vendor, support them, because that's what keeps the sport going. Is the local guys, the people who show up to the tracks, who are doing tire vending at the track. Yes, you can get tires cheaper somewhere else. When that guy one day disappears and you have a blowout on track, which happens, guess who's there to help you? Nobody, because you were nickel and diming your local vendor. So don't do that.
And, you know, with you saying that, you keep it within the industry. That's what I tell people all the time,
Yes.
you know. And when you say that, big shout out to Zeb, right, at Pit Lane Moto and my boy Derek Stickboy. Yeah, man, Dunlop and Pirelli. So there you go. And they're always at the tracks near you or with you or around you. If you need anything, and you're right, dude, keep it within the industry, keep it within the sport. You know, don't ask for discounts. People always ask me, dude, discount. I'm like, nah, dude, this is it, right? Like, just fucking pay it. Like, support your people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because
Support.
everybody wants a discount until there's nobody that can give you a discount, and then what happens?
Exactly.
Just pay them, bro. Just pay them.
Pay up, bitch. Quit crying. Right?
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Love it. Well, listen, Yardie, this has been absolutely amazing, man. Again, I appreciate you coming on. Appreciate all the love and support for everybody out there. This goes to everybody. Appreciate K-Dub, dude, on these proper mega shirts, man. Again, I have some for sale. If I don't have your size available, I'll send you to his website where you can go and order one. Yeah, New Year's is right around the corner, dude. It's crazy. I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and spent time with the family and got all the hugs and everything you dreamed of. I know I didn't, because that motorcycle wasn't under the tree, but I just got to be an extra good boy this year coming up. Maybe at the end of the year. We'll see. I don't know. It's still up to debate, right? So, but anyway, yeah, man, this episode will be out in about 30 minutes everywhere. I'll tag you in all the socials and send you all the good links and all the shorts and all that good stuff. And yeah, listen, everybody, I hope your weekend is as proper mega as you are. Stay safe out there. New Year's is coming on. If you plan on drinking, please have a DD. Call an Uber. If you're in my state near me, call me, because I'm not a big drinker. I'll come pick your ass up and make sure you get home safe 110%. So Yeah, let's go. But on that one, Yardy, nothing but love for you, man. Listen, just stay on with me real quick after I end this podcast. And yeah, we will see you guys soon.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, buddy.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.